Today, from Soldier Field in Chicago, it's the NFC Championship game.
Now, this great venue has hosted some memorable playoff games over the years, and these Bear fans are hoping to make some new memories today at Soldier Field in Chicago. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl, and we've got a classic in store between the New Orleans Saints and the Chicago Bears. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback, who's now in his 7th season in the league, former #1 overall pick, Jameis Winston. On 1st and 10, Winston. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. And we see the emphasis early here. Get your star receiver involved. Able to do it successfully.
Not a bad start to begin with, that's for sure. And to me, this play says our guy is better than your guy's. Because, you know, a player.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Robert Quinn.
Selected.
He's the culprit, dropping him for a 2-yard loss. Well, he shot in, CD, like he was out of a cannon from that linebacker position. And even though they had a running back in the backfield, no one could stop him.
Well, you certainly diagnosed that play perfectly, because as fast as he got into the backfield, you're exactly right. The running back had no shot to get over and try and protect his quarterback, and a sack resulted.
To try again after the sack. Winston. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Johnson. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. And we'll see if that pick 6 looms large as this game continues, because we've seen plays like that alter a lot of playoff contests over the years.
I would agree with that totally. And you often think to yourself, why do they alter it so much? Because after games, don't we hear coaches and players say, well, one play doesn't usually determine the outcome. But I don't think that's really true, do you? Because there's times when we see plays like that, and all of a sudden the momentum jumps to that team side, it deflates the other side, and they never pick it back up. And then things really go from there, don't they?
That's the thing for me. We talk about momentum changes. A play like that is the ultimate momentum change. No return there for Harris, and the drive will begin at the 25. A look at Jameis Winston now as he gears up to lead this offense again. And looking to erase his memory bank from his opening drive a moment ago that ended in a pick 6 for the first points of the ball game.
And in my experience, a lot of quarterbacks, after throwing a pick 6, the first thing they want to do is fire another one and get those points back immediately. But what really helps you get back in sync is a good, long, methodical drive, mixing the run and the pass, tamp things down a little bit.
Jameis to throw it. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. So now here are the Bears with excellent field position to start off. And they'll be let out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback. They go play action here on first down. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
Remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
And they'll turn to a power game to try to get in. And he will fight his way in. Not giving up there, and he's got a Bears touchdown. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Bears are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, we've had that conversation with prior to the game. They always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. And we will not see a run back here from Harris. Jameis Winston and company heading back onto the field now. Bottom line, he's got to figure things out. He's completed 3 passes, but 2 of them have been to the wrong team so far.
And when we talk about the best quarterbacks, we're usually talking about touchdown to interception ratio, aren't we? And 2 to 1 is acceptable, but the top line guys, 3 to 1 or better is what they're looking for. Now we're talking about interceptions versus completions. That's not a ratio should ever be in any discussion.
Now a throw complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tanner Muse there defensively. 2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Ouch, you thought you had the defensive stand. Roughing the passer wipes it out.
What does every defense talk about? 3 and out, right? Thought they were able to get off the field. Not so.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him.
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. On 3rd down, Winston. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. I was watching him in warm-ups, and he hit a 62-yarder that hit the crossbar and went over. This one a little bit inside of that, but not enough leg.
And the difference is what?
Well, your live conditions, right?
Live conditions, game conditions are a whole lot different than practice, where you just pop it up there, no rush, no pressure. I think maybe that takes a couple yards away from you when you have to do it when it's real.
And that nearly trouble, but it's incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it, and it'll be 2nd down.
I'm not sure it made a difference on that play, but one thing to keep in mind, here in the early part of the year during a day game, the sun does play a factor on deep balls.
And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. They will run for the first time with David Montgomery. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to move the sticks with a gain of 4 on 3rd and inches. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Going deep for Montgomery. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. David Montgomery. 38 yards. And the Bears continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and it's now 21-0. 21-0 our score after 1. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. No return there for Harris, and the drive will begin at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain, so you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football, because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls. Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. Well, you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. He is tough to bring down, Jameis Winston. Yeah, Charles, I remember calling a baseball game of his. He played baseball at Florida State, too, and you saw his legs, tree trunks sprayed in to those baseball pants. I said, how could anybody bring this guy down?
And that's part of the beauty of his game, because he has that toughness, that thick body. He may not beat you sprinting, but he's real sharp with his mind, and he knows how to get away from people.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6. Winston. Flushed out right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
2 minutes remain in the first half of this NFC Championship. And a reminder, folks, as we've done all year, we'll send you to Orlando for our EA Sports Halftime Report coming up shortly. The coach with us, as always, as he will start to look ahead to Super Bowl 56 in L.A. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Now it's Kamara in the passing game. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down. Now Winston. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Smith. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Keep in mind they can still get a first down here as they come up on 2nd and inches. A 10th carry for Kamara. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Saints get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Oh, CD, there didn't seem to be much resistance there down near the goal line.
Yeah, partner, from what I saw there, not a real good job of matching up defensively, because to me, they look like they were just in their base 3-4 package. You need bigger bodies in there in a goal line type situation. The 3-4, fine between the 20s, but not down here when you're guarding your end zone.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This taken in at the goal line. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Square button. Cross button.
Lets this one rip toward Graham. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number one. A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
R1 button.
He'll drop to throw.
R1 button. Cross button.
That is hauled in by Jimmy Graham. Touchdown Bears. Jimmy Graham there to make the grab. And the Bears will extend their lead. Santos now to add the PAT. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. Pretty clean and simple there. Just two plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And we will not see a run back here from Harris. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. He gets it complete to Harris. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. To throw again on second down, Winston. He'll find his tight end. It's Adam Troutman. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. First down, Winston. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Nifty running there, but it'll come on what should be the final play of half number 1. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. Yeah, who has time for a halftime show with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line? Let's get back to it. The Hallis Trophy still hangs in the balance as the second half now underway in the NFC Championship game. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And I think here with the lead, CD, they have to resist that temptation of kind of looking ahead. Would you agree?
Absolutely, I would agree, because they know the stakes. They know the winner of this game goes to the Super Bowl. And this one, it's far from over. They were the better team in the first half, but they do know that they're facing their toughest opponent of the year. And they've got to be prepared for them to fight it out all the way and add a few extra wrinkles in the second half as well. They need to stay on guard.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He completes it to Tate. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They're really locked in on offense.
The throw over the middle, taken in. Touchdown! Allen Robinson, 26 yards. And the Bears will add on to their lead. Well, something about this team, you just felt like they were one of destiny all season long, and they made themselves today, as you can see, the class of the NFC.
Yeah, and it's starting to look more and more like a Super Bowl trip is very much in their future.
And the fans starting to book those tickets. Try to run it in with Montgomery. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the backflip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there. And sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming. They run it again with Kamara. And down he goes, but the stiff arm utilized effectively there, and it helps him move the sticks.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
3rd and short yardage, Winston. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. With nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Here's Winston. Eluding the pressure right. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
0.
But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down.
Well, so much for bluffing the defensive line into thinking that they were going to be able to get to the quarterback. Instead, they sniffed out the screen pass and made a really nice play for lost yardage.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Winston. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Blowing that play up, Roquan Smith as he gets the sack. Well, remember, he had the interception earlier. Now he adds the sack. He's really making his presence felt out there.
Oh, he is putting together a heck of a game. In fact, he's going to bump these plays to his highlight reel. Okay, so when he wants to show it off later on, look what I did out there, guys. In this offense, they've got to start paying him a little special attention. He's like a good basketball player, putting stats in every column.
Back now at Soldier Field. 1 quarter remains until the NFC crowns its champion. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Winston now to throw on first down. They'll get this out to Kamara. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
2nd and 2. Here's Winston. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Adam Troutman, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there. At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Winston. That's complete to Troutman, right side. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
On 3rd and 1, here's Winston. Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. 2 yards on the touchdown there. And the Saints get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Lutz with the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down now to 22. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Montgomery back to the ground. And he'll be taken down after a pickup of about 7 as the clock will stop here for the 2-minute warning. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. Running for it, Montgomery. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. David Montgomery, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bears are closing in on a Super Bowl berth now as they extend their 4th quarter lead. Santos with the extra point, and that'll push the lead up to 29 now. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. No return there for Harris, and the drive will begin at the 25. The New Orleans offense back out and ready to go. And their backs really against the wall now. And we knew how tough it would be for them. You're coming on the road, NFC title game, crazy environment, and certainly just not looking good here in the 4th. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. It's Desmond Trufant. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. But here in the 4th quarter, defensively, you know that you're just going to blanket the field with defensive backs and say, okay, take your best shot. And that time, it's intercepted.
And we've often seen teams go into the prevent early, way too early, and sometimes they get too soft in their coverages. But not in this case. They understood the situation and played it with the proper aggression.
The drive will start with an option going left. 6 yards there on the keeper. It's 2nd down. A little do-it-yourself run right there and a nice gain.
Now, I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
He's going to keep this again. And down inside the 15 he goes.
All right, I don't want to get too poetic here where they talk about, the eyes being the windows of the soul. You know what else the eyes do? They see the open spaces on a field, and those eyes carry your legs to those spots, and that's what happened on that play. He saw an opening and went and got it.
Well, he really hasn't ran the ball all game. 4th quarter here, need a big play, able to pick it up. So whatever the eyes saw and created, it worked. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, there's just about a minute left in this game, and they're still taking it to the end zone. And you know they could have taken a knee there, but they decided to play this one all the way out. And I think their philosophy is, we're going to give you everything we've got. If we just go ahead and take a knee now, we're actually showing you disrespect that way, like taking pity on you. They're not about to do that to their opponent.
And he will get into the end zone again, and he seems to have a nose for it as he gets both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And we will not see a run back here from Harris. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Jameis now on 1st down. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And this will do the job nicely as that'll be out of bounds just inside the 10-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing. It puts them in that position.
Circle button. R1 button.
Lets this one rip toward
Square button.
Graham. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. And for all these guys, whether you're a rookie, a 10-year veteran, there's no feeling like this NFC champs.
And you feel like family. Never at any time do you feel more like family than when you're sharing the joy of being the NFC champs. And now everyone gets to say they're going to the Super Bowl.
And that'll close the books on the conference championship. For
Report
Charles
players'
Davis,
stats.
myself, Brandon
Finish
Gunn,
game.
and our entire crew, we'll talk to you at
Franchise is selected. Entering franchise hub screen home. View doc. Advance week is selected. Home you have two options. Next week is selected. Ability. View Pro Bowl roster. Generic list item. Entering franchise hub screen hub. View Pro Bowl. Ability. View. Edit player. Ability slot empty is selected. View. Edit player. Advance week is home. You have two options. Next week is selected. Upgrade player. You have 6 options. Upgrade. Improviser. Field general. Improviser. Scrambler. Field general. Improviser. Scrambler. Strong arm. You have 5 options. Overview is selected. Entering franchise hub screen home. View. Play Super Bowl is selected. Entering weekly strategy pop-up. You have not finished up your weekly strategy options. What would you like to do? Go to weekly.